Welcome to the Daily Exchange. We're back, guys. We're here with Alex. We're talking ETFs. We're talking price pumps. We're talking squeezes. We're talking everything that's going to make this market go up. But we will talk about that right after this, guys. Welcome back, guys. All right, guys, we're talking about, let's go through the prices. How you feeling about the market right now, Alex? Give us some chat. Guys, by the way, Alex joining us from Nuggets News, the man himself, right in the studio here at 99 York, darling at you all around the world. It's a pleasure to have you with us, man. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks, Fred, for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
There's plenty happening in the Bitcoin
It's
world.
actually an honor to me, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's happening on the market right now, my man? Where are we at?
So this morning, well, only a couple of hours ago, we got the news, the ETF decision that everyone was waiting for, and they came out and said, look, we're actually going to reject all these ETFs, bar one that the market is waiting for in the next few weeks. So rather than keep us waiting, have all these countdowns, they just said, look, we're not happy with all of them at the moment. And the market didn't react too badly, to be honest.
It says that the market's up.
So
Slightly.
I think everyone's had a few weeks to digest this, and they knew it was coming, and we saw the shorts load up and make their bets, and we saw a bit of manipulation yesterday on BitMEX. So I think everyone's pretty happy, and most people were expecting that they weren't going to get an ETF. So yeah.
All right, so let's have a look at these shorts on Bitcoin right now. Where are we trading at? Shorts are rallying back up. You'd say they really ratcheted up ever so recently. We're at 38,216 shorts on BitFinex. And we're also, last time we were at that, I think around that April mark, this is when we just rallied like $1,000. We had a graph yesterday. Joel, do you have that graph by any chance? With yesterday where it just rallied up?
Yeah, so last time it was at that level, we got a bit of good news, and that caused the shorts to get liquidated, and we moved up 20%. I think it was in an hour or something crazy. And here we are again at that big level. And yesterday we saw a bit of a short squeeze, but it's just a little dip when you look at the chart there.
Versus that one. That one's like a monster. That was like that $1,000 pump, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was huge. And a lot of people are betting short again this morning after the news, which is interesting. Expecting the market to continue lower now that the ETFs didn't get approved. But yeah, let's see how that plays out. It's always dangerous when the shorts are at record highs, the slightest bit of good news, and we get that shorts getting liquidated and a big move higher.
100%. You know, let's just pause. Like we had yesterday, BitMEX, bit of weirdness happening there. We had. Do you want to bring up that tweet, Alex? You pointed out earlier. If you can bring up Alex's tweet, Joel, that'd be awesome. Just about the short and the situation going on there. I don't know if you've got that, Joel. Yeah.
So yeah, we tweeted this a few days ago that the shorts approaching record highs, and any sort of good news could cause a short squeeze. And it wasn't good news per se, but BitMEX had scheduled maintenance, which is a large exchange where you can trade with huge leverage. And they said, well, we're going to be offline doing maintenance. And so some big whales or manipulators come out and say, well, if you guys are going to be offline and there's a record amount of shorts, well, we're going to push the price higher. And when you come back online, that's going to cause a lot of people to get liquidated. It caused a fair bit of damage. We saw a $400 move high yesterday and a lot of upset people.
You know, let's put this shorts. We talked about this yesterday. The short squeeze yesterday. Put this to pause for a second. Let's talk about this. We've got some news coming out right now about another $100 million in Tether coming out.
Yeah.
Do you think this is related? Do you think this is also related to the Bitcoin price moving?
Oh, a little bit. I think the headlines that people like to read are that Tethers are printed out of thin air, and I don't think that that's the case. So Tether's been, the source of conspiracy for 4 years or so that I can remember on BitFinex. But if people are putting in bank deposits, then they're going to credit them with Tether. And if I'm a big player and I want to get into the most liquid trading exchange in the world, it's probably BitFinex, So it doesn't surprise me when people are putting in those huge amounts of Tethers. I don't think they're printing them out of thin air. But maybe that's a heads up that people are looking to buy more crypto when they put that amount of money into BitMEX.
How do you feel about them? Like they're authorized, they've got another 151 million worth of new tokens that have not been distributed yet. How do you feel about them being authorized to release another big chunk? How do you feel about that?
I think that's fine as long as the money's coming in to back it. And they've had a few audits that haven't been fully... People aren't happy with it, that it's been done by an auditor. It's been done by, I think it was a law firm or something like that. So people are saying, give us the proof that you're 100% solvent and backed, and then we'll be happy because there's billions of dollars of Tether out there now.
100%. We're looking at the Tether price has been going up ever so slightly while the Bitcoin price has been going down and vice versa. So we've got a special chart here. Just bringing this up. I don't know what you think about this. I'm interested in what your views are. We've got the market cap, and then we've got the Bitcoin and Tether price. I think we just need to zoom in a little bit. Let me just zoom in a smidge. And there's this bit of speculation going on that when Tether goes up, or Tether price goes up, Bitcoin goes down. You can see, and then here the Tether price is going down, and then Bitcoin starts to go up again. Do you think there's any correlation? Like Tether price is up right now. Do you think we're potentially going to go down? Do you think there's any correlation between those two?
Oh, I think it's more just about trading volume. You look at the market cap of Tether and it's grown as the number of people that are trading on that exchange has grown. And if I'm a trader and I sell a trade, then I sit in Tether. That doesn't mean that they're, again, printing out of thin air or whatnot. So yeah, a little bit of a correlation, something to keep an eye on, but I wouldn't trade based on that. No.
So you got to hear like Tether price going down, Bitcoin price going down, Tether price going up, Bitcoin price going up. Like Tether price is going up. Maybe it could be that Bitcoin could go up. It's a speculation. This is not financial advice, by the way, guys. Zero financial advice from this show. Nothing to do with financial advice.
If you saw that there was $1 billion of Tether had been created and it was waiting to buy crypto, maybe that's exciting. It's going to push up the price. But again, I don't like to buy into those little things too much. It can mean anything, really.
I totally hear you. And I feel weird about just even talking about it. It feels just like any potential conspiracy, but you just got to put it out there, You just got to get clear.
We love conspiracies in the crypto world. Yeah.
Ethereum. Now, I know you are a real expert on Ethereum. We're trading, Ethereum is trading right now around $275. Bitcoin at $6,417 right now. Vitalik come out and he's put a new GitHub up proposing a fixed fee model. What do you think about that?
What Vitalik's talking about is possibly reducing the supply. So at the moment, I think you get 3 new Ethereums per block. And what they're talking about is when they move to proof of stake down the line, that's going to take a little bit longer than expected. So in the meantime, do we want to reduce the amount of Ethereum that's issued? And a few things like that, because it's that move to proof of stake in Casper that people are really waiting for. And yeah, it's taken a little bit longer than expected. And they're asking the community what they want. So
he's saying a mismatch between volatility of transaction fee levels and social costs of transactions. There's inefficiencies of the first price auction, instability of blockchains with no block reward. Do you think these are all valid concerns of Vitalik?
Yeah, so in terms of all that, I haven't actually read that article yet. So that's interesting that he's talking about the fee model there for auction. Okay. So what happens if the network's being congested by crypto kitties or a smart contract? It's a high demand on the network, and that means that they, prioritizing themselves over other little people that want to maybe send transactions and so on. So trying to create a new fee model that makes it fairer for the average person to use the network and maybe sets fees for those smart contracts and things that are high gas consumption.
Yep.
I think that's what he's looking at tinkering out there, but I haven't read that article yet.
Trying to fix in the fees so that more people can, everyone can use it at a certain cost as opposed to these wild gas price movements.
Exactly, when there's an ICO or when something's happening.
Or there's FOMO 3D. Trading trends, what else? We've got Bitcoin Cash. Now, there is a massive, massive, massive potential divide going on inside Bitcoin Cash.
Yes.
Not just Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, but Bitcoin Cash in and of itself are having a bit of an internal war. Who are the two camps, Alex? Who are we?
So
who versus who Round one.
So there's a few players here. So Jihan Wu, he's got a lot of the Bitcoin miners and hash power and whatnot. And they obviously are big fans of the big blocks because that means that the miners get all the rewards and there's no Lightning Network and side chains and that sort of thing. And then we've got Roger Ver, who everyone sort of knows as maybe a bit of a controversial character. But Craig Wright, the Australian guy who's sort of claimed that he's Satoshi a couple of times, is getting a bit vocal. Yesterday, Vitalik came out and said we need to get rid of him from the crypto space and let him go off and do his thing. And the argument for Bitcoin Cash now is, do we implement what they call opcodes, which were removed from Bitcoin a few years ago? But what they allow for is doing more complicated things like smart contracts on Bitcoin. And the other side of the argument is, well, we don't want that. We want to go down a different path. So yeah, there was a bit of a divide, and they're actually saying that they could even hard fork and split that community. And if that happened, obviously both sides get both Bitcoins, like we saw with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And then if they don't like each other and they've got huge amounts of each other's coins, they'd be dumping on the market and all sorts of things can happen. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on.
So you've got Calvin Ayre and Craig Wright saying they're the original Satoshi vision. And you've got some issues around canonical transaction ordering and the BCH scripting language. These are like some serious fundamental sort of questions.
Again, I'm not a programmer, so I can't talk about that too much, but the scripting language is to do with those opcodes and smart contracts and being able to do a few more fancy things on the blockchain.
Geez, they split Bitcoin Cash. Like, what else are we going to split? I don't know. Imagine you split Ethereum again. What do you think about Ethereum Classic, by the way? I'm confused.
So
I'm baffled. Joel, are you confused by Ethereum Classic?
I'm always confused by Ethereum Classic.
The argument here, and I'm actually pretty against Ethereum Classic. So in the early days, there was a hack and $150 million, and the Ethereum community said, look, is the right thing to do to undo this hack? And because it was so early stage, the community kind of said yes. But the purists are saying you should never change a blockchain. You should never be able to, code is law. And so they said, look, we're going to keep Ethereum Classic as a coin. That's got a very tiny community. Again, it was a bit of sneaky behind they went behind a lot of people's backs to get Ethereum Classic listed when it wasn't meant to be supported, and it got snuck onto Poloniex, and a few small people made a lot of money and pumped it up and said, this is the real Ethereum. And we have all the hundreds of thousands of developers are working on the real Ethereum. It's very few people working on Ethereum Classic. But who knows? Who knows?
It's one of those weird coins. It's like It's like when, like you could imagine you get a sheep and a dog and you put them together and then it's the sheepdog.
I've never heard that one before, Fred. Okay.
All right, we've got the fork potentially happening on November 15 with Bitcoin Cash. And that's gonna create some serious ruffles in the community, I would say.
Like I said, there's already some slinging going on Twitter between Vitalik and Craig Wright. Jihan Wu's got a lot of money at stake. BitMain own a lot of Bitcoin Cash now, so they've got a huge vested interest to seeing that succeed. So they're doing IPO. Jeez, what an interesting time. There's never a dull moment in crypto.
There really isn't there. Let's talk about XRP, not Ripple. David Schwartz, the CTO, is saying we're really excited about the recent pilot results showing 40 to 70% savings compared to what financial institutions normally pay expensive foreign exchange providers with their XRapid product.
So the XRapid product is a way for banks to do fast transactions between each other. The big question is whether or not those banks are going to use XRP. So if I'm a big bank, do I want to risk using a crypto token? Or I believe the XRapid technology lets you send Aussie dollars or gold or anything really over that ledger.
Wow.
So it's not necessarily the XRP token. And that's where the Ripple sort of diehard fans it's a very divisive topic, Fred, whether or not Ripple is a good coin because it works with the banks, whether or not they're going to use XRP versus Ripple Labs that still own, I think 60% of the total supply. They still own that. So that's the argument that it's centralized. But again, this can be very divisive in the community.
What is your view on Ripple? Are you XRP or add on Ripple? Are you where are you sort of at with that?
Obviously, I'm a bit of a purist, I guess, that I really think decentralization is one of the most important things of the cryptocurrency movement, and we started this to get away from banks and governments and centralization. If Ripple does a deal and all the banks use Ripple and all the banks are using XRP, it's probably going to go up in price a lot. But is that really what this whole movement was about? Getting away from the banks and that, becoming decentralized and becoming our own bank. So it's great if they use that technology, but yeah, I'm all for Bitcoin.
100%. All right, let's move on. EOS, we're down 4%. Actually, it's a little more down than that now. It's down 8%. It's been ranked really well by the Chinese Electric Information Industry Development Research Institute. You know what's fun? Weird. There's a lot of rumors right now about China banning media on WeChat about cryptocurrency and da. And yet the Chinese Electronic Information Industry Development Research Institute has come out and said EOS number 1, Neo, and then Stellar are ranked right up there in terms of blockchains. How come they had this division in Chinese policy, which seems very interesting? What's your view in terms of China with cryptocurrency?
I think I read this morning that they've banned crypto meetups. So they've told in the CBD, I think it was, you're not allowed to hire out your buildings for crypto meetups anymore.
Wow.
So it's whether or not they're, setting the tone to have their own cryptocurrency and saying, look, we're only going to use this, whether that's Neo or Ontology or whatever it is, whatever one partners with the government or is working closely with the government that they can control. But geez, what a huge market to capture. Whoever gets their foot in the door there, it's going to be a big winner.
Massive.
But the government don't want anything that they don't control.
100%. Let's move on, because I think everyone just knows China's banning cryptocurrency, right? That's pretty priced in.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get crypto through WhatsApp and private messaging groups, Telegram and that sort of thing. So there's definitely crypto in China, but not the powerhouse it used to be.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about yourself, Alex. Let's really laser on this. You guys have been working with BlockRain as an advisor, and so how do you guys work with BlockRain?
So we met them at the Blockchain Centre. That's in Melbourne. So Australia's leading incubator style, I guess. So they had an app, and they were from the farming background, and they couldn't quite get the app to do what they wanted, and then they discovered blockchain. So it solved the problem that they were looking at, and they spent a year there. They've got a working app. The actual first main BlockRain version of that goes out in a few weeks. So not many projects can say they've got a working app, even some in the top 10. So exciting to see that they will have that out, hopefully with plenty of farmers using that very soon. And the long-term vision is to be able to scan things in supermarkets and say, look, where did that come from? We see people being pretty fussy, in particular about what they eat and what they give to their families, particularly in China, baby food, food recalls, all that sort of stuff. Once they have that on the blockchain and the app and all that working well, that's why we agreed to help them. Pretty exciting Australian project.
And working with BlockBid to audit coins before they're listed, which is really interesting.
So the thing that made our channel popular to start off with was our fundamental analysis, where we actually looked into coins rather than just saying this coin's going to go to the moon like a lot of YouTube channels were. And they reached out and said, look, big fans of the channel, we want to be a big multi-coin exchange. Would you be interested in looking at all these coins that apply to come on our exchange and telling us if they're scams or if they're good coins? And so now we do a lot of auditing for them.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And then you've got Bamboo, which is their guys are coming on the show next Monday. Tell us about your interest in Bamboo.
So the reason, again, that I liked Bamboo and agreed to help them was one of the biggest problems we have now is the first step for people. So if you're trying to convince your friends or your mum or grandma to get into crypto, she's not going to take a photo of herself with her driver's license and download these apps and what's a private key, a public key. So with Bamboo, a lot of people have heard of the Acorns app, where it'll put your loose change and round up and put that into a share sort of portfolio. So that's basically the idea behind Bamboo, where you buy coffee, if it's $4.50, rounds it up 50 cents and puts that 50 cents in a crypto portfolio. But with this app that you can sign up for in less than 60 seconds, you plug in your details, it links a bank account, so that's done all that KYC process for you. So nice and quick and easy, you can start to build a crypto portfolio in less than 60 seconds. All those apps have been hugely popular. So if it's anything like that, and the interface that I've seen is, it's awesome. I'll let those guys talk to you more about that next week. But such an user-friendly way that I just see people at the pub, at social gatherings, look at my app, look at my crypto, it's going up, download this app in 60 seconds and you can have the same thing as me. That's so much easier to get people into crypto than signing up to exchanges and stuff. So
100%. We've got a question coming in. Alex, Joel, if you want to bring up a question. The question is from Joshua. In your most recent video, Alex, you spoke about the headwind most are overlooking. That's the introduction of privacy to the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. What do you reckon would happen to the market? This is a massive topic.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Well, that's the thing. Is cryptocurrency, should it be private? If you're a business, do you want everyone to know how much is coming into your account and your address? At the moment, if we know someone's Bitcoin address or Ethereum address, we can see what transactions are in there and how much they're holding. Future iterations of Bitcoin and Ethereum want to implement privacy. And that's a big question, a big debate that we see at the moment with everything from Facebook data to Google. Where do you draw the line with privacy, and where should you be entitled to being the holder of your own data? And financially, I guess it's a similar debate. So interesting for governments. What are governments and authorities going to do if Bitcoin goes private?
Yeah. What are governments and tax offices around the world going to do?
What do they do now with cash?
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit of an honesty system, isn't
true.
it? But
well,
yes.
it might get them to launch their own coins potentially, and they can monitor on blockchains and things like that.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to use a centrally issued coin.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Trust me, Venezuela guys. Trust me, we won't print more digital dollars. Yeah,
it's so true. All right, let's move on. Thanks so much for the question, Joshua, as well. Awesome question, by the way. Really, really, really big topic right now, as well, potentially coming up with the privacy of Bitcoin, Ethereum. And I'm assuming all other coins would go a similar route, because if Bitcoin moves that way, other coins will probably follow, right?
It depends how hard it is to do, I guess. But why not? If it's advantaging one coin, just like scaling. Once one coin works out of scale, if the other coins can copy it and do it as well, why not? Yeah.
100%. Now, you did a great video, Alex, on the comparison between these exchange coins, Binance Coin, KuCoin, Huobi token, and Buybox, and there's some other ones like F coin coming out and those kind of things. What's your sort of view? I don't know if Joel, you want to bring up Alex's token tweet on this as well. Tell us about your analysis of these tokens. So we got.
Yeah. Okay. So the most attractive one there in the final column, Buybox. At the moment, their return is about 57% per annum, which is crazy. You can't get that anywhere. So at the moment, that's the leader just for holding the coin, as they share around all the fees that come in from the platform. Pretty crazy. But some other attractive things there, affiliate programs, discounts on fees. A lot of these exchanges are burning their tokens every quarter, so reducing the supply. And Binance planning on launching a decentralized exchange and launching their own blockchain with Binance Coin would be pretty awesome.
Really interesting. It's interesting there that the Buybox token, so these ones, so you've got 20% of profit is burnt with Binance Coin. 10% of profit is burnt with KuCoin. 20% of revenue goes to
user protection funds.
User protection fund, and then 25% of profit is that sent back with Buybox to the actual users? How do they get that return?
So the return that they're getting is from the fees. So all the fees collected from the platform, 45% of those get shared between all the holders of the token. And at the moment, there's so much money they're making from fees that ends up being 57% per annum because of how low priced the token is.
Wow, so Buybox token holders get paid fees. What do they get paid fees in?
Buybox token and whatever coin's traded. So if there's lots of Bitcoin traded that month, you get your reward in Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. That's
It's
fascinating.
very attractive. So I don't know how long that'll last at that higher premium.
That's massive. There's an opportunity there. There's obviously not financial advice, any of this, guys. So that's up to you to make those decisions. We're not trying to give financial advice here. But very, 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 very interesting opportunities with those kinds of tokens. Let's talk about, last time you were here, you had some underrated coins. PIVX, Horizon State. Obviously, Horizon State recently come up with the news. Jamie stepping down as CEO. And there are obviously some other guys joining the helm there. But big ups to Jamie for your journey and what you've done for the industry. Thank you so much. And we really all appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Jamie tonight at the Innovation for Impact meetup. But I think a lot of people are saying, oh, why is he leaving, a year or so into the project? But the project and this dream of his has been around for years and years, and he's finally kind of got it there where they have a team, have a product, they've got partnerships and trials around the world. He's done a fantastic job, but he's got a young family now. And as you know, the entrepreneur life of doing 16-hour days and traveling around the world can be pretty stressful. And he's got a young family now. So, you understand you've got to take a step back at some point once you've been doing this for years.
I agree. I feel you. I went through some phases, but somehow I'm a bit of a survivor. Keep on punching, Alex.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well.
The resilience till 2020 when we're going to come back.
You're forever young here in the
I am.
the Star Wars entrance.
We travel at the speed of light here at Finder. Really interesting. Tell us, so these PIVX, Horizon State, underrated coins. What are your top underrated coins right now, Alex?
At the moment, I really like Amisa Go. That got up to, I can't even remember now, but back down to $3. And that's a coin that's really working on scaling. So Plasma and a lot of the big scaling Ethereum things that they're working on are going to come out first on Amisa Go. There's a project called Electrify Asia, which is already looking to build on top of Amisa Go. So that's going to be pretty huge if that one pulls it off. So I think that's very undervalued now. A lot of the coins I covered in that video are back down to where they started before the huge bull run. So there's some other coins I've covered. Project Shivom is an interesting one. Healthcare. They've already partnered with SingularityNet, which is artificial intelligence, and they've partnered with Simply Vital Health. So healthcare industry, genetic care, artificial intelligence, that's got a market cap of $2 million now. So things like that have just got, come down a long way, small market caps. They've been victims of the bear market since the ICO price. So I'm starting to look around to buy more of those ones that I think are undervalued, yeah.
Interesting. Fascinating. And so you've got also some other coins that you have rated in the past. Any coins that you sort of don't rate anymore, or that you did rate but things have changed?
There was one quant stamp that they were doing the auditing for smart contracts, and there's a bit of a rumor going around that they were letting people pay in other coins other than quant stamp, and that was the big sort of use case for it. So I've come out and said, oh no, we're not going to be doing that too much anymore. But other than that, no, I don't think any of those coins in the top 10 have really changed. It's just been the bear market for everything, really. So they've held up better than the bear market though. So
obviously that's key. With protocols, do you have any views or strong views on certain protocols that you're a big fan of, or do you have a bit of a forecast about where protocols will go?
Yeah, I think there'll be a couple of winners. So depending on what you need. So we're at the NEM meetup last night. That was pretty interesting to hear some of their business use cases. Obviously, we're looking to see how EOS goes once they finally release this into the wild, completely bug-free. Everyone's excited about Cardano, which is peer-reviewed. So I think there's going to be plenty of options for people. It's about which one you need for your business model. Do you need transactions per second? Do you need security? Or do you need decentralization? I think people forget that Bitcoin and Ethereum have got a 3 to 5 year head start sometimes. So,
what do you think about EOS's EOS Alliance, with them sorting out some of their governance and giving them that space between token holders and block one and things like that?
Yeah, interesting that they're talking about rewriting the governance only a month or so after launching the blockchain because of a few things that have happened. But that's where this space is at, I guess. It just shows you that this blockchain has launched. It already had to, come offline twice. Now they're talking about rewriting governance. This is literally cutting edge stuff, and we don't know how it's going to evolve. Every day is different. So you've got to keep an eye on the news and follow your favorite projects. But competition's healthy. We want EOS and everything else to keep Ethereum on their toes, and yeah.
Really interesting stuff, man. We've got this new article out by Invest in Blockchain talking about the top 100, cryptocurrency in the top 100 with working products. What do you think about working products? Where are we sort of at in terms of, a lot of people are getting scared. These ICOs are coming out without a working product. That used to be a thing. Now maybe not so much. Potentially?
Yeah, I think that article said there was only 40 or 40% with or without a working product in the top 100, which is pretty scary. So, as I mentioned before, the projects that we look for, even early stage ones like Blockgrain, they have a working product that's going to be out in a few weeks, and some of these in the top 100 or top 10 don't have a working product. So people are putting a lot of money on future promises. And maybe a few of these ICOs now are realizing how hard it's going to be, or it's going to take longer than normal, and so on. So yeah, if your project has a working product and it's using that coin or that token, that gives it value straight away. And if it's being used a lot, that means that token needs to be purchased or circulated a lot, which gives it value. All that returns a lot better for investors than just buying and holding a coin and hoping that they build something in the future. And anything can happen in the tech world and the startup world. We're already seeing some projects admit that they can't do what they set out to do, or some exit scams that walk away with your money. So guys, you've got to do your research, and why we kept saying that all throughout last year.
Very, very important. Really spicy. What's going on here? I really like the. These are some great coins, and not to say that any other coin is not a great coin, and this is not financial advice, but definitely these are ones that are actually doing something.
Yeah, I mean 0x there, we covered that one very early on because of how much we saw it was going to be used in the future on decentralized exchanges, and it has been one of the best performers. Augur, basic attention token, these have all got working products now. You can go there and create a market to bet on things on Augur, prediction markets. Bitcoin, we all know, is being used. Ethereum's got all those apps being built on top of it. So stick with those coins that have got working products. I guess they're generally safer than something that's future promising a product.
Totally. Let's move on. Portfolios and tracking them. We've got all sorts of apps. Let's talk about the portfolio app. What app do you use, Alex?
When I'm out and about like today, I have one called Tab Trader that just shows a few little percentages and little charts all in the one screen. Other than that, people like Blockfolio and Delta to see how much money they've gained or lost recently.
Blockfolio, Delta, Blocks, Hodler, Coin Tracking, Coin View, Coin Stats.
I should give a shout out to a little Australian project called MassBlock, which is trying to make an app to link in all your different exchanges so you can maybe trade and look at prices from everything all in one place.
MassBlock, cool guys. Did you see the new version of Delta? It's giving you a bit of smack talk. I don't know, Joel, if you can bring this up.
I haven't seen, but I have heard.
It's got some good. It gives you a bit of chat about the good decisions, bad decisions. What do you think about that? A good decision or a bad decision?
I don't think people need to be reminded in an eight-month bear market that they've made some bad decisions. But anyway. What do you think? I don't think that encourages daily active users to see how many bad decisions they've made.
We're all aware. We get it, Delta. We're okay, and we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on carrying on. Let's tap back in to a bit of a price watch right now. How are we going? Bitcoin at 6,419, Ethereum at 274, EOS $4.74, Ethereum Classic $12.29, Bitcoin Cash $523. Litecoin, anything standing out for you here? Alex, any coin you're sort of interested in right now that's sort of everything a bit spicy to me? Everything a bit spicy?
I'm going down the list here. No, there's no real standouts today, up or down really. Everything pretty much in line with the market. Walton Chain is one that's had a lot of good announcements lately. 0x there we just mentioned. Amisa Go having a bigger bounce than the rest of them. Everyone's just so fixated on this ETF decision and worried, oh, what's going to happen now? So I really am looking forward to everyone moving past this and starting to look at things individually and getting back to, you know, believe it or not, we had a world of crypto without ETFs only a few months ago, yet everyone seems to have forgotten that.
Totally. Well, Alex, thanks so much for coming on the show. Is there anything else that you wanted to shout out to, or anyone else you wanted to give a bit of a hoy or a cheer to?
For Sydney Siders, the Innovation for Impact that's on tonight with Horizon State, Power Ledger and Sharing. So I'm looking forward to that. Love coming to Sydney. Come to our next meetups, guys. And yeah, thanks for having us today, Fred.
Okay, so we have some news out right now.
Breaking news.
About the Prime Minister of Australia. Apparently, the Prime Minister is going to be joining, I guess, the House of Representatives, I believe. Is that correct, Joel? So it won't return until September 10.
Okay.
Wow. So does that mean that we do have the same Prime Minister, or we don't have the same Prime Minister right now? Joel, where are we at? Where is the Prime Ministership of Australia? We've had 5 Prime Ministers in the last 8 years.
I was going to say, I don't think any other country would have had more.
Is there any other way we can pause on the Prime Minister change? Can we just pause on that? Joel, can you pause the blockchain of Prime Ministerships?
All right. Give me a couple of minutes.
He'll be right back on that. So we do have a new Prime Minister, or we don't? Is it still unclear, Joel? Are we in the land of new Prime Ministership? Is it happening? Give us some.
It's the same for now.
It's the same for now.
That's the news I've heard.
So the death knell, Turnbull gone, third contender running. 3 key ministers have resigned and seemingly doomed Malcolm Turnbull, but Peter Dutton will reportedly face another challenger. I'm so confused by Australian politics, and I don't really want to talk about it.
One of my friends tweeted out today, Alex Oxford, g'day if you're out there, mate. And he said, what happened to the good old days when the number 1 and 2 man with John Howard and Steve Waugh, and everyone looked up to them, simpler times. Now our cricket captain's using sandpaper, and we get a new Prime Minister every year.
I don't know what to say. Look, thanks so much, guys. Do subscribe, do join, and watch Alex's show. He's got an incredible show, an incredible set of videos. Check him out. And thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Exchange.